The potential in TnC, I think OG, sure they won, but everybody was expecting them to win. But TnC, they showed, you know, it was just a little bit of an error, and they realized it because they started to adjust by items. Well, now they don't need to adjust by items because they can just adjust in the draft.
Yeah, small mistakes added up. I think that's kind of lame thing to say, but it really was like just little things just hurting them, setting them back, missing a couple spells, forcing buybacks.
At the same time, OG is expected to be the better team. OG is expected to do better, and they probably will not be too satisfied with the result they just had. Sure, they won, but it wasn't as convincing as I think they wanted it to be.
They looked disappointed when the game ended.
Yeah.
You
So
kind
how
of
are they gonna
expect to
fix
storm the game harder
things?
if you're OG. You want to win the game harder.
Yeah.
And when the game, you still won the game, but the way you win the game is like you're worried about the next game, because you were literally scared in the early game because you lost your lanes.
They played very safe, even when they had a clear-cut advantage. They were still like, okay, we're taking this melee racks and backing the hell up and then reset. It's very
What's the way to
disciplined.
victory, Jake?
Way to victory?
Yeah.
Pick Omni Knight.
Picked Omni Knight.
Big
bro.
Omni Knight.
Nice.
All right.
I mean, in all honesty, this is probably going to be one of the more challenging series for OG because they don't phase off against SEA teams that much. They're really not experiencing kind of this play
That's a
style.
good point, because when I was looking at the second phase ban in the first game, when TnC picked the Jug, they kind of did not expect the Jug to go mid. They banned out Invoker in the second phase, so they were not very sure that what TnC would do.
Yeah. So this is a scary match for them, but I feel like they were
Gosh,
going to be feeling good after
look at
this.
that ban.
Tanking and Slardar.
Thanking Slardar.
Respect.
TnC takes out the Earth Spirit themselves, so.
Yeah, because
We've got Lone Druid.
OG has first pick.
There's
and-
Lone
Oh,
Druid.
Druid! Oh!
Winter!
There's a Shadow Demon as well. Is that an
Hooray!
Shadow
I mean,
Demon-
that was a hero that was banned out previous
Sure.
game.
But Shadow Demon is not so hot of a commodity right now. I think the hero is like decent, like not as OP as before, because of the nerfs that he's received.
Yeah, the 300% illusions.
Yeah, and the reduced damage to buildings. I
Yes.
mean, it all adds up, you know. So there you go. You wake up in the morning, you think about Lone Druid and his talents. You pick the hero.
What a
There
great
it is.
wake up thoughts you have, Winter.
I'm so excited.
I mean, every time I wake up, it's like, oh yeah, Lone Druid.
So let's talk about what Lone Druid is bad against. Lone Druid is
Alright.
bad against heroes that can face rush you. That's what you
Yeah.
need against Lone Druid. He's kind of like Sniper, I would say.
Yeah.
Right? The way you play Lone Druid now, because he's literally the sniper. He stands behind and he
You
kills
need a
everybody.
frontliner,
Yeah, you need you want to have heroes that can go behind and kill him.
like
There
a
you go.
Nyx assassin.
That's not that I would have. That's not one I would have thought.
I was like kind of expecting like someone like a Weaver
Yeah.
or someone that can just jump behind. They go for the Nyx plus Invoker combination, Nyx Gangs plus Sunstrike. Invoker is pretty good against Lone Druid if you reach the late game with your items, if you ever get there.
Yeah.
But if you don't get there, Lone Druid's going to take your towers very
Does it
quickly.
really matter though? Because you kind of use all your spells on Lone Druid, and then he's back in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have a very long cast range on your spells.
So they can reach
you can
him.
reach him. Yeah, you can reach him.
I'm
Nyx
very
assassin.
curious about the next
Yeah,
pick.
me too. Like when you pick Nyx as an opening, usually you're a team that picks the hero a lot, so it's kind of part of your system. But this team
Yeah.
doesn't really pick the hero a lot, so it must be something to do with the Lone Druid, because they see the Lone Druid and
Yeah.
they have a plan against the Lone Druid.
You
They might be thinking of Nyx as the gap closer with dagger, so you can actually burst the Lone Druid down.
This is already such a scary lineup. I mean, OG, I feel
And-
like Warlock is starting to become a staple of that team.
Yep,
because
this
it's
this
just-
team always picks Fly on or puts Fly. He puts himself on a position 5 hero that has a awesome team fight
Yeah.
potential, like Phoenix. Phoenix, Warlock are 2 heroes that he usually plays a lot. Those kind of heroes, though. They have very good team fight, very good babysitting potential on
Yeah.
his hero, so he takes care of the lanes. And yeah, like I
They
said,
banned the
I kind of expected the Weaver to be a go-to hero against the Lone Druid. So OG, after seeing that TnC has no interest in the Weaver, decides to ban it out in the second phase, not wanting to face him. Because he's the kind of hero that can always run around in the fights and you don't see him and he's behind you and he can actually go for the Lone Druid, the real hero, not the bear. So
Yeah.
he can kill you.
I like the Underlord ban. I think it synergizes really well with the Lone Druid.
You look at the first ban as well, Alchemist. They took out 2 very tanky heroes. Because like Shiva was talking about, when you have a Lone Druid, you want to have frontliners that can
But
distract
Axe is
them.
still in.
Sorry?
Axe.
Axe is still okay. Yeah, Axe is still okay for them.
I thought Underlord was poo-poo now. I thought
That's
people
what I
didn't
thought
like
as
him.
well.
But
Yeah.
it's the idea of the hero.
It's just the concept
con-
of what,
it's the
what it's the
idea.
team fight. Like, what are you gonna do? And like, okay, you're gonna lose the
Yeah.
lane. He's much weaker, but he becomes the power
Look at
force later.
the last ban, the fourth ban from OG.
Yeah,
They
Sark.
have literally no interest of giving away heroes that can go behind the back line and kill the lone druid. You can see it's a very clear idea that OG has right now. Whereas TnC, they are banning out frontliners and they go for the Rubik here. Like, that's just a standard support, like position 5.
But is Nyx Assassin not someone that can come behind the lone druid and kill him?
Not so reliable
Okay.
without items.
Yeah, he needs a lot of farm, right? And that's his big problem unless he's picked up as a counter to, like, say, Batrider or something, right? More farm than most supports should have, right?
Yeah, but unless if you open with Nyx and you're trying to lead the enemy into thinking it's an offlane Nyx and you transition it into a support, sometimes it happens, but not very often.
Okay.
Maybe that could also be part of the idea behind the opening with Nyx. Otherwise, I'm not very sure why. Maybe they just wanted to play him this game, and
Yeah, he's a fun hero to play.
he's a very good hero in this patch. Yeah,
Quite enjoyable. All right.
you like
that a
all
Sam
the
H
fun
hero
heroes.
then?
Yeah.
Sam H hero. I think two of the players play the hero, Tims and Sam H. Both of them play Nyx, so it could be for either one of them right now. And for OG, they're pretty much really open in their heroes. They have a lot of ways to deal with what TnC have. They can go for a standard Jerax roaming hero.
They could go for a similar draft, honestly.
Yeah, they
I
can
think
go
like
for
the Pudge
the
Axe
Pudge again.
sounds
There's no issues with that. Or they could go for the Tusk, so you have more.
That's
the
your frontliner.
frontliner and the hero that can save the lone druid in case lone druid gets focused, because you can eventually get an Axe, and that
Yep.
hero is very, very good with Axe. The lone druid just basically doesn't die if you have Axe.
This is so scary. How do
Press
you
R and everybody stops dying and you
Yeah.
can just do whatever.
you run through the trees?
Very
It's
difficult for
madness.
TnC
Yep.
to fight into them. So their only solution right now I could see is they need to win the lanes. They need to have a, similar to the last game, they need to get a bigger advantage out of the laning phase, because they don't have good team fight. So when you don't have good team fight, you need items to compensate. So you need to win your lanes hard.
Like an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh, dude. They're falling into the trap card here.
Right.
They're trying to get all these
seems
aggressive
it's
heroes, and
a
it's all
support mix.
defensive.
Yeah, it
it's not
seems
good.
it's going to be a support Nyx with the Axe. That should be Sam H hero.
that Nyx is really like throwing off, like, because it's usually like when you see that Nyx,
It doesn't
you wanna
counter
ban it.
anything, though.
Yeah, you want it versus something specifically, but yeah, it's just
a Tinker, a Storm, something like that.
Ember.
But I think this game is probably to throw the opponent off. They pick
Yeah.
a kind of like an offlane hero, and then they transition him into a support, leading the enemy to think this is their offlane, and then drafting something different. But OG seem like they don't
Oh.
really. Oh, a
Hello.
Chen. Just
That's new.
Group up and push, and more.
Good thing we didn't speculate about what Jerax was going to play because nobody would have said Chen.
No.
Chen is actually quite good against Axe because of the heals you are gonna give to your team. So it makes it very difficult for the Axe to get a target onto
Okay.
critical level for Culling Blade.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Chen receive a little bit some nerfs? I mean, didn't they take down his burst damage? I know it's much harder to run Dagon Chen now.
Oh, yeah.
No one runs that anyway.
What do you mean, no one?
Get the hell.
I'm just saying.
I know.
That
I mean, maybe you
Well,
do.
that strat is not so good these days.
I think it gives you more ways to protect the lone druid as well. It gives you like stronger lanes. It gives you a mech carrier. It gives you timing push as well as extending to later on.
I mean, the
Yeah,
best
like
build
you
for
said.
Chen right now is actually not the mech build. When you play Chen,
Axe.
you want to get the helm into Axe. Actually.
Yeah, helmet tags.
That's what my Chen player told me. I want to get the helm, get an extra creep, and then I want to build Axe. So I wish someone could build the mech for me.
That's why Fly's there, right? That's why the Warlock's
Yeah.
there.
Exactly.
Fly always builds those type of very like defensive support items. Lotus Orb,
Yeah.
Glimmer,
Gosh,
mech.
TnC needs to win their lane so hard. Oh my god.
Okay, wait a second. I got a
Versus
crazy
Chen,
idea.
though.
Yeah, Chen is
Alright.
very good.
Crazy idea here, but we've
Yeah.
been seeing Doom had some nice upgrades. You can eat the Chen creeps, make some more money,
Get a Midas,
get a Midas.
kill the other creeps.
Look at that. So
I'm expecting to see Doom this tournament. I mean,
Yeah.
I was expecting to see it from ROTK, perhaps.
Doom
Oh,
is,
the
Doom is
old
really
school
good
Doom
against
guy?
Helm of Dominator, because everyone, like, in every game, I think, almost every game you could see a Helm.
But for which team would you see the Doom?
I would see it for TnC. You know, eat
But
up
then
the
it would
Chen.
be a
Nah, they
carry
need a
Doom.
carry.
The
They need a-
Raven Doom?
Come on, dude.
Yes, the Raven Doom.
Come on,
don't
dude.
know.
Oh, you're all
he-
laughing now.
If he picks
Just
Doom,
like-
they are doomed, They're not going to pick Doom.
They're Doom.
All right.
We'll see about that, my friend.
But what about the Terrorblade, Jake? You're gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah,
on
we've been
scripting.
talking a lot about the Terrorblade, and again,
But
I
would
feel
it
like
still fit?
It could. I mean, Terrorblade's great against some Chen action. You just blow up all those creeps, make a lot of money.
Not so good for Centaur, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just very solid lanes. They have minus armor now, and it's a very good matchup because right now you see in the 4th and the 5th pick, OG pick heroes that are really good in the lanes. They understand that first 3 picks, we have more than enough team fight. If we do well in the lanes, the game is pretty much in the bag. So TA 1v1 against Invoker, you have a huge advantage there, and you have a Chen.
No great
Hero.
refraction breakers either.
Yeah, this is bad for TnC. Very difficult to draft.
You know who's great at breaking refraction? Doom! Scorched Earth is fantastic at getting rid of that.
I thought you were going to say something like Viper or Venomous.
Oh,
I thought
you'll
you would say
see.
Viper too.
Oh,
Yeah.
you'll see.
Shiva, help us.
I mean, if I'm supposed to help you with Viper and Venomous, I don't think that is going to be my role
Oh,
here.
please, TnC.
Man, what are they gonna pick? They need like a big carry hero though, but then the big carry hero can't really fight well early.
Yeah, you said that you wanted to see Raven on the
I don't know,
traditional
like
carry.
maybe Sven. I don't know. Like all those heroes are not very good. If you're talking about heroes that can gap close, there's Spectre, but he's very bad in the lane. There's
What
not,
if they?
there's
How
no,
can they go super
there's
greedy?
no good option.
There's
yet.
no good heroes.
Can they go super greedy?
It's over!
There's still
Wraith-
like the Juggernaut. There's
Wraith
still
King,
like the
I don't know,
King.
Wraith King. I don't know what they can pick here.
Wraith King.
Okay, fine. They're gonna pick
Doom.
Doom. They're gonna pick Doom.
All right, you got 1 minute to convince us, Jay.
Jug, Terrorblade. I think those are the 2 standard ones.
Sure.
Very difficult to pick. There's no like good picks here.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Jug.
It's a Jug. All right.
Good call, Fogged.
Jug,
Whatever.
Fogged, you didn't like the draft's previous game?
This
do you think
game
this
is
time?
I
more
think
difficult.
TnC has a very hard game. I really like the last 2 picks, just like Winter mentioned. The Chen and the TA picks just secure the lanes a lot for OG. So I think I'm
Lane
gonna have to go
secured,
with OG.
game secured. GG.
Yeah.
Yeah? It's
So
all
I
about
think-
the lanes. Apparently. All
I
right.
mean, I'm trying to find a universe where TnC wins this one. And
All right.
I'm thinking maybe if they just make it to the late game, right? I mean,
All right.
Chen falls off, doesn't he?
You weren't gonna say if they picked Doom, they would have won the game.
Oh, of course. I mean, duh.
Big
That
Doom.
was the missing puzzle piece. But with this draft, it will be a little harder without the Doom.
Well, let's see if TnC can still make it, even if they don't have the Doom. It is over to OD Pixel and Merlini for game number 2.
Thank you very much, Steve. Indeed, game 2 now between OG and TnC. We've just seen the draft, Ben. Interesting, the panel don't seem to have a lot of hope in what TnC's been bringing into the
I second
frame here.
this.
But really, I'm going to say, Ben, I don't think this is as hard as game 1 looked. I mean, there's no Meepo, Ben, for a start. They do have ways to deal around it. They've got kind of this Invoker, that's going to be able to do a lot more than Jug was able to in kind of game 1.
There's Lone
They
Druid,
do have
though.
a safe lane.
Lone
I know
Druid's
Lone
probably
Druid
worse
is
than Meepo.
strong. Lone Druid, you'd rather go up against a Lone Druid, a Meepo than a Lone Druid in this current patch.
I mean, mostly depends on the lineup, but as first pick material, I think like Lone Druid. Like you can first pick a Lone Druid because he's good in
True.
most
It's true,
situations.
yeah, and
Lowen.
there's- I mean, they're kind of given the whole draft to deal with it. And in terms of kind of getting to the back lines, I mean, TnC certainly do have ways to do so. And in fact, they've already started off with a great way. They'll get themselves first blood there. S4 calling out alone. I don't know, Ben, we'll see. But I think TnC could pull something nice out with this draft.
It just looks really hard to actually get to him this game.
But Ben,
There's
they've-
Stampede, there's Savage Roar, there's Upheaval, there's
Oh,
Rock,
it's true. For sure. I mean,
there's
yeah,
TA
OG,
Traps.
and OG definitely have this kind of lineup as well that I can see. There's going to be this point where No Tail's kind of on his own in a lane, and then you have the other 4 of them just diving towers. Chen with a full army up, TA, as you said, Stampede. They've got a lot of ways that they can just run at TnC.
No Tail does
and-
not split push, though.
You think he'll join the fights each and every time?
He always joins the fight. That's what he's known for, man.
I guess. He kind of does both. I mean, well, when he's on the Meepo, at least. Last game he was doing everything.
Dude,
He
he
was
was
on
like-
his own in lane, and then bam, he was turning up to the fights.
Yeah.
But I guess you're right. With the Lone Druid, he's got to be...
Okay, with Juggernaut,
two.
Lone Druid, Razor, Viper,
He's
like
holding his
all
buddy's
these heroes,
hands.
he's always with his team.
Yeah.
I think that's one of their greatest strengths is that
Okay.
they play together often.
They
Like,
do.
Even the Meepo, Meepo was not split pushing very often last game. He'd push out a couple of waves here and there, but nothing, super ridiculous. I think the only exception is when he plays Anti-Major Naga. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. So Lone Druid will be in a one-on-one situation versus the Axe.
Is that what he wants, or Like, who's getting the favorable lanes, do you feel?
That's definitely fine for Lone Druid.
Yeah.
Lone Druid, the thing about it is you don't actually want him in a dual lane or a tri-lane because you actually want his talents ASAP. He's only really good because of his level 10 and 15 talents, which are still pretty good post-nerfs. He only got a 25 attack range nerf, which is hardly noticeable, and only a 10 damage nerf on his 15 talent. So he's not nerfed into the ground as some people may have expected.
Top lane, Raven and Tim's going in onto Fly. Immediately tries for a TP out, but they've grabbed him. And the three of them, they've found it. Flies out. S4, he's going to be fine, but TnC already picking up the second kill of the game here. The support's doing work.
As Winter said, win the lanes, win the game. Or that's at least what TnC is hoping for right now. I think overall in the team fight, though, yeah, OG are slightly stronger, but in the laning phase, TnC certainly have the upper edge here as they need a lot of time, or OG needs a lot of time for them to actually get online. Unless JRX can do stuff with his chamber. Right now he's getting harassed out by Roar and Sims. He was not even able to finish off that Observer Ward. He might perish.
But he might have to put the Shrine to survive it. Fly, looks like the Shadow Word. They're going to put the Shrine nonetheless anyway to secure JRX's life.
And they denied the Observer Ward. 100 gold down the drain.
And Tim's Embryo sent packing back. JRX actually coming straight back across and actually looking towards the Rubik. I'm not going to have the follow-up damage there, just the troll trap, that's all. Over in the mid lane, Cuckoo versus Ana. 9 for 6 on the TA at the moment. Compared to the Invokers, 3 for 3. Ana is having an amazing opening here in this 1v1.
Very strong opening from him. He also went for the Cross Wex on Cuckoo. Or Cross X.
Oh, JRX.
Nice.
He got the snipe there with the purple Hadouken of Doom.
I think that's so much damage now. It's crazy.
I bet JRX is smiling about that one. Now we'll get OG their first kill onto the board here in this game, in this early game. Bottom lane. Rotel actually taking a fair bit of damage here with the Battle Hunger and the chase down from Sam H. And doing his best to kite it up with the bear on the front lines. Him sitting back and chucking in those right clicks.
Sam H started off with, I think, 7 tangos in lane, which is a lot of regen, but it allows him to just constantly run at No-Tail, who doesn't have boots yet and is much lower in terms of regeneration. And Sam H able to utilize that pull. The pull, I think, is much stronger for X, as he can utilize those to spin more. Do a lot of damage to that bear.
Yeah, 12 for 3 against the 11 for 1, so both heroes getting something out of that bottom lane. Mid lane still, I mean, it really is just an incredibly impressive opening here from Ana.
Yeah.
13 for 12, he's pretty much hitting everything.
You'll see a lot of exhorts on, or sorry, Wexes on the Invoker, so they get the alacrity up early.
Yeah.
So that he doesn't get destroyed super hard in lane like this. But the thing about Invoker is you can always jungle. Well, they're going on to Ana in the middle lane. Gets pulled back into a cold snap, and yep, he's dead.
Yeah, Cuckoo needed that. He needed that rotation, something to help.
Do you hear game sounds?
We don't, Ben.
Okay, I'm just confirming. Thought it might have been just me.
We don't need game sounds, Ben. Oh, they're giving them back to us anyway.
Great.
They're generous in production.
You need game sounds, man. How else are you gonna know all these things that happen in the game?
It's true, Ben. It helps out. On the mid lane, Cuckoo. They got about half a wave done when Ana was back to base there. Thanks for that kill. And we'll see if they can make anything happen up top. S4 just forcing Raven back. Obviously realizing that the supports from TnC are out and elsewhere on the map. Can't quite get in with that initial lockdown. Bottom lane, in fact, is going to be where TnC are going to be bringing in a second member. They've got their eyes towards No-Tail.
He has 1 point in the Savage Roar, though. It's very unlikely that they'll get a kill here.
Lead in with the
unless
stun.
both those things get stunned. Okay.
Yeah, indeed, as you mentioned. The Savage Roar immediately, in fact, getting the root as well. Flies TP down. Look towards Sam H, but just a little too tanky to bring down. It is actually going to be in the middle lane where Cuckoo falls. Ana had a DD. JRX came in with the Chem rotation.
He's getting massacred in lane.
No, this is, a lot of people do flame Ana for some of his performances, but this game is
one of
pretty
those?
flawless.
I'm just kidding.
I'm not a flamer, Ben. I'm a lover, not a hater.
Only in your pubs.
Peace and love, Ben. Yeah.
Wow, that sounded. That was the most insincere thing I've ever heard you say.
Oh dear.
Sounded like you just read that off a piece of paper.
Well, mid lane, Ben. Bit of the caster's curse kicking in. We talked him up. TnC immediately bring him back down. As a rotation comes through from Sam H. I don't think you would have been expecting that one there. Out of that kind of early movement from the Axe towards the mid lane. 5.5 minutes in.
I think a very important thing in this early game is that Chen's doing a lot. Chen is like such a hit or miss hero. Sometimes it's like this Chen has no idea what he's doing. Sometimes it's
it's Jerax and
he'll get kills on multiple lanes. He's pressuring 2 lanes at once is his thing. He's like helping out the top lane. Like they gave up what 2 kills at the start on the top lane.
They did, yes.
Yeah, Centaur gave first blood and then Warlock died, and now it's kind of stabilized. Centaur is #1 in CS thanks to Jerax, and then in the mid lane, TA is crushing Invoker also because of the Chen experience.
It's going to be really nice rest for the amount of money he's had. Those lanes are going to get very scary once he's able to start moving around and hopping in for a bit of action. I mean, he's doing it to pick up the Ring of Protection, I guess, because of how well this lane's going. He's like, all right, casual Ring of Regen, then save up for the Blink, or do you think he'll go for a Hood first? Did you get the Hood or Blink this situation? On the S4 Centaur.
I usually do not see Blink.
Oh, hello. Can they find him? Yes, they can. S4 and Fly closing the gap, and another kill on this top lane. S4 just having the time of his life here. I mean, overall, the net worth, as we can see.
Yeah, he'll go Blink him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You can go Hood first, too. Hood first is always generally pretty decent.
Well, bottom lane, Cuckoo. I guess he's found him. It's going to be Jerax and Ana. They found one. Sandwich will get the call onto Jerax. Jerax will be very happy paying with his life to get the kill onto the Invoker. A little less so, though, if Ana ends up going down as well. And he will be chased around here. TnC actually with 4 members on the hunt for this TA. I mean, Ana, he's just going to go for the TP out. In fact, he's not going to make it. Telekinesis is there in time. They've got the stun locked down. TnC surround him. And Ana, Fate Bolt to the back will do it. Rio takes him out. But it does take a fair bit of TnC's time. And obviously space created. No tail.
It really is.
The creeps down bottom.
Radiant has killed the top tower.
Yep.
More importantly, and like every one of their kills, it just seems like they need so many heroes to do so. They're up in kills, but in momentum, it seems like it is definitely going OG's way. And I think that was prior to No Tail really being able to do damage to tower with Demolish.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, he's tamping up. This is a little scary for TnC if they're losing kind of these side lanes as such.
I wonder what build No Tail's going. I'm looking at his quick buy, and it has Phase Aquila. Aquila is something that I just don't see very often on Lone Druids. Usually you just see the Basilius to help push with towers. Aquila, is, like, agility is not that important for him. Neither is damage because of his talents, but we'll see.
Mid lane.
Wasn't that so much more satisfying with game sound, Owen?
I mean, yeah, that's a lovely sound, isn't it? The old meteor.
It really is.
Jerax and No Tail. I'm going to pressure onto this mid tier 1, as you've kind of already said. This game, Jerax getting a lot done.
Yep.
Very, very nice start.
See, No Tail pushes with his team. This is just what he does.
He does?
He has the Blightstone with him. He has Demolish on Bear and Cuckoo. They just... The thing about taking down this tower is that it will make Cuckoo a lot more pressure when he tries to farm the Asians.
I mean, S4 wanted to go there. He stampedes, jumps in with the Blink Who Stomp. Then the detection for Cuckoo doesn't look like they do so. He is going to be able to slowly ghost walk his way out of there.
I mean, they can just keep on taking down towers. Just keep chomping them down.
Raven has been given a bit of space down bottom, but Ana's in there.
There are just a lot of things you don't want online for TnC.
Yeah.
Midas Invoker will slow down Chen a lot. The Blink Dagger on the Axe, very, very important in this early game. Even a Midas on Nyx, I would say, would be pretty bad for them, although I think it'd be very risky to go for a Midas on him right now. Well, Smoke Gang coming around on the bottom side. Tims and Rior trying to kill old No Tail. The thing about it is if you don't stun the bear, he'll just return it and then Savage Roar.
I mean, it's hard to do. You know, Tim's still yet to have Vendetta, so they only have the cover of the smoke. There's not going to be that initial invis closed down. They do get the telekinesis onto No Tail. They'll miss the stun, though. In fact, he may have been trying. I think he was trying to stun the bear so he couldn't Savage Roar, but it still got out in time.
Savage Roar, very good spell.
They can't kill this No Tail. And still, as we can see, just S4, 4.5k net worth at the moment, 54 CS. Cuckoo 500 or so away from the Midas.
Is he going for Dominator on the bear? I'm still not sure what Notel's going for. I see a ring. I see an Aquila.
He's got a bit of everything, hasn't he?
Yeah, he could be going for Midas. He could just be going for a casual ring. He could be going for, like I don't think he's going. I just don't know what he's going. It says phase in his quick buy, but after that, who knows, man. I feel like they could just get Helmet Dom and just end the game early. I'm pretty sure True Form into the buffs his summons as well. You used to see Necrobook sometimes on Lone Druid because of that. It's kind of like Lycan. But I don't actually know since it's been changed because I haven't seen a Helmet Dominator or a Necrobook on Lone Druid in ages. But Noto does do some pretty cool builds now and then.
Bottom lane S4 immediately into Sam H. Yeah, he's got the Berserker's Claw to buy himself sometime, but he still ends up going down. The damage too much from OG. I'll cut down
did he
one.
the bear? Oh, 300 for No-Tail. Or wait, for Ana. Cuckoo. Cuckoo.
They lose the tower though. And at mid lane as well, diving onto Cuckoo, talking about the man who's trying to get himself away. The stun will hold back the TA, and in fact, TnC turn it around. Good backup there from the support. Rio getting himself in and allowing to turn that. Bottom lane though, OG just continuing to put this pressure on. They may have lost a core. They're looking to find a tier 2 in trade. Tims comes forward with the stun. Into Jarax, but flies in the neighborhood. He does have Chaotic offering. It's very hard for TnC to do anything about this tier 2 going down. I'll have to let it go. OG picking up yet another objective. And certainly keeping themselves ahead in terms of the overall net worth.
Yep. This is exactly how you play a Lone Druid Chen strat. You take down their towers before they can really do anything in the early game. And Midas is finally online for Invoker, and he didn't die due to the TA dive. So he's actually getting pretty decently up there in terms of net worth after his terrible early game. He is number 4, just 1,000 gold behind the Lone Druid, and just a little bit behind everyone else.
Noto's getting a little aggressive there with his farming, but looks like he can afford to do so though, with Tim's not hitting the stun. That's a speedy little man there with the phase boots. And I like what it looks like to be that he is going to be doing Notel. He's got the Desolator queued up, so I mean, having a good timing on phase Deso, these pushes are going to be absolutely deadly back.
Yeah, he doesn't actually need the extra range from Dragonlance this game, which is kind of weird to say, but they're not contesting the fights. So when you don't contest the fights, you don't really need the range for positioning. But No-Tail will get caught out by the blink over here. He is in bear form just in time.
Yeah, and TnC, they're scared. They don't want to jump into this. They come up to the high ground. Tim's, he's just going to start to ball straight back down, but S4's there, immediately blinks in onto the back lines, finds Rio on the Rubik. The Rubik's out. Tims will try and get himself away, but all the spells are used, slowed down by Jarax, cut down by S4. OG find 2. Sam, it's an absolutely beautiful call there, but the hand of God comes through. Jarax saving the team. S4's back in with a Blinker Hoof Stomp. They've got an Omni Slash, but that's an Omni Slash too little, as Raven's out as well. S4 picks up the double kill. And a very, very nice turnaround there from OG, you know, where it looked like TnC might have been able to do something. They get a massive call and combo from the Invoker, but that Hand of God, that re-initiation from S4, just securing the fight yet again for OG. They get another tier 2. Just, I mean, we're only 14 minutes in, Ben, and we are seeing the strength from OG's draft here.
Yep, indeed we are. And I think the panelists were talking a little bit about the next assassin pick. It's like, it doesn't counter anything that they have, and it's actually really bad against 5-man like this before you get any items. And I think, again, from the Juggernaut, we're seeing some perhaps questionable item builds. He went for Yasha first, and Helmet Dom is really good against Chen. Like, you take away one of his creeps like each and every time, and it's usually a pretty good creep, or else he wouldn't have it in the first place. And it's also really good against 5-man. Whereas Yasha is much better for farming, so split pushing, it's a little bit of damage, but like generally the Helmet Dom is a pretty good value here. But Raven disagrees and will proceed with the Yasha, which he has almost completed right now. Rubik inside the pit with an illusion, and looks like that will be No-Tail's next target. I do think it's a little bit strange that...
Oh, S4.
Oh, he's done.
I mean, these two boys, the kitty cat's out as well.
Oh, he has Vanguard as well. Oh my God, Centaur's farm.
I mean, yeah, he's dead. S4, he's rocking it.
Juggernaut's going to have damage issues just like last game against a Centaur with a Crimson Guard.
No, I think he's going to have more issues than just damage, Ben.
Yep. So No-Tail looked like he queued up the Dezo earlier, but it wouldn't really make sense for them to get 2 Dezos when they already have one on Ana.
Well, that's true, actually. Yeah, I mean, Ana's, with the kills that he's been picking up and the farm that he's had, so
I do like how he didn't get Lance, though.
yes.
Lance is
just
considered
there's
core.
no necessity for it in a game where you've got this momentum.
It actually slows you down.
Yeah.
Because the range is just not, like, the stats are surely good, but when you can just go Maelstrom and Phase and no HP because you have this gruesome team fight to back you up.
Yeah.
Like, you can get away with such a Glass Cannon ability. And I think they're about to knock on high ground, and it's going to take another big combo like that from Axe, from Invoker, to be able to stop some high ground siege. Are they going to push multiple lanes at once? Are they going to try and take a T3 and Shrine? What is their next play?
I mean, yeah, if OG get a pick off or two, this could be an early end to this game too. OG was just so much sieging potential.
I think they want to wait for maybe an item or two. Like the Centaur does not have his Crimson Guard yet because it's not picked up, and nor does the Temple Assassin actually have the Blink Dagger. So I think they can wait about a minute and a half and then go again. This chicken is about to deliver some good stuff. It's a hot package right there.
TnC. I mean, how good is their high ground defense at the moment, Ben?
Well, the things they have going for them are the call into the meteor and shrines.
Yeah.
That's about as good as it gets for them right now. I think OG could end this game in the next 5 minutes or with the next push. But it is slightly risky because like calls that close to your T3 is sometimes very, very difficult, especially if Lone Druid is kind of up there. And you know, Dragonlance is really good for sieging high ground, so you aren't in that callable range.
OG at the moment just sweeping across the entire half of TnC's map. Tim's. He's actually going to be spotted out here. Just fearing back, No-Tail.
Playing it safe.
Yeah, can't really go on it on his own.
S4 wrapping around from behind. Cuckoo immediately Ghost Walls. They do not have protection for him yet.
Let's see if they can find any of the back liners. They do get the vision on Sam H, who immediately blinks. S4, can he do it? Ooh. Not quite in time there. Just a little bit too far away.
They might as well try with the high ground push right now. They only have 2 minutes left on Aegis, and I don't really think they're going to get a better opportunity.
Oh, Jax. Oh,
man.
Oh, my goodness, Ben. Oh, the sneaky Chen does it again.
That,
Jerax.
oh my god.
I mean, that was an Invoker, Ben.
That's a poor Invoker.
Oh,
he didn't even get a chance to use his Midas. That is the worst feeling.
He didn't even get a chance to do anything.
Nope.
Jerax.
Yep, he can
The
micro.
Jerax, it's, as you said, you know, Chen really is one of those heroes that can fall flat on his face, but this game, Jerax.
Still, breaching a T3 is going to be a difficult task unless you push 3 lanes at once. Chen creeps in bottom, everyone else in mid, and Lone Druid up top. So Axe Call is going to do minimal damage if it's only one hero, and I think this is a really smart approach by them. And they have TA in like kind of the most vulnerable lane with their teammates. Oh, Tims cannot get the jump.
Can't lock down No-Tail. Ana being healed up by the Shadow Word mid lane.
They need to send this. They need to heal this bear, but the TP's still on cooldown for the Spirit Bearer TP. He just passed it from the Lone Druid. So 5 seconds, then they can TP the bear back, and then they can do this again. T3 is still very healthy though, I would say, on top lane and bottom lane, middle lane. A little bit worse for the wear. You know things are going well when you can drop your Tranquil Boots on the ground and not put it in your backpack.
Yeah, absolutely. Who needs the backpack, Ben?
Everybody else in the game. Everyone.
Oh dear, this game's certainly looking tough for TnC. I mean, you and the panel kind of called it. You did say that this one would be the tougher one out of the two that we've seen, and it certainly does feel like that so far.
Still, very close to Scepter on Invoker. I think he can actually do a lot of damage at that point. How is his levels looking? He's only level 12. Ew. I mean,
but
Meteor will still do a lot of damage.
Yeah, they do have the combo. A lot of it is down to, as you mentioned, kind of the Axe hitting those big blink calls.
Yep.
It's hard to do. So Aegis is gone now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So OG, I mean, obviously, even though they have this strength at this moment in time, it feels like, you know, there's not a lot of pressure on them to do anything soon. I mean, maybe, yeah, I wouldn't even say the Chen falls behind because of just how far ahead kind of Jarax is of relative to a lot of Chens at this stage of the game. He's in a beautiful place.
I think it's slightly worrisome just because they did commit for 5-man items. Like Warlock went for Arcanes, doesn't have his Midas yet. You see the Chen, he went for Greaves instead of a greedier build with like a Helmuttom and a Scepter, let's say, which scales much better in late game. Centaur, he went for the straight Crimson Guard and Blink Dagger, all team fight items for him. And I think the only one who has a really greedy build is No Tail, but he doesn't have any HP, so if they actually fail the high ground push, he could easily die. Or if he's caught out by a Nyx Assassin while he's being a little bit careless, and he could also die. So like, I don't think it's like super clear cut that TnC are going to lose if they are put into that position for the next 5 or 10 minutes. Like I don't think that OG can outfar them as hard as it may seem.
Okay. We'll see.
Got it. We had a little bit of message from the producer. Sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen.
Nothing's happening anyway at the moment.
Nothing is indeed happening right now.
I mean, TnC trying to, they did like maybe look like they were going to come out, but it's very hard for them to do so. And ooh, that's the courier out then. And there's the courier down as well.
They could use a gem right now. I would think would actually be pretty good for them. And, you know, Centaur went for a Yules. He knows how to beat an axe with Blade Mail. That is actually kind of cool to see that you'll see your Centaur build Yules because they don't have another good Yules carrier.
Yeah.
That's really smart.
Certainly makes sense. I mean, it doesn't feel like they need the kind of the damage reduction as such from the axe anyway at the moment with the Greaves and the Hanikoff and Jarax.
Yep.
They have already the offset for the damage.
I think a pipe would be okay too versus the Invoker, but I think the Yules is much more important. So Midas coming out for Fly right now on that chicken, and still waiting and just constantly pinning TnC inside their base, waiting for them to slip up, waiting for them to get 2-man hoof stomped, whereas Tims and the rest of TnC just waiting for someone to be caught out of vision.
Yeah, they try and go in, but immediately there's the Yules. Fly drops the rock, and already TnC falling incredibly low. Tims is out. They'll move forward with the Stampede, look towards Sam H. OG pick up a second. Is Fly with a double kill, and Cuckoo just being forced back.
Okay, S4 was so fast with that Blink Yules.
Yeah, they were not expecting that.
They weren't. It's also really good against Nyx when he carry bases, so you can actually cast their AoE spells.
And again, S4 just diving in. They'll set up another. There'll be a buyback coming out from the Invoker. Jerax nukes down the Rubik. OG starting to put the pressure now. Into the high ground, into the base of TnC. They've taken down the tier 3 in the middle lane. Melee racks in the middle, falling down very quickly as well as No Tail already looking towards the top. And in fact, looking for kills by the looks of it. Going in onto Raven, but immediately, in fact, with a stun, the Sunstrike, No Tail falling down low. Tornado won't catch him. Jerax, he says, boy, get yourself back to base. Sends him home. Sam H does come in with a call onto Anna. Anna kind of left behind here by the team. And he's going to get dunked down, so TnC will get themselves a big kill off the back of it. And they're not done yet. Tims chasing down Jerax here into the cover of Vendetta. Fly and S4 are in the neighborhood. They've got the sentry out as well. I'm going to look to jump back in onto him though. Tims carapacing will get the clutch onto the Warlock here. And in fact, TnC, ooh, Sam H couldn't quite get the call in time. Immediate blink out from S4.
That was pretty greedy. Not going for that easy kill on the Warlock who's already stunned. Wanting to catch +1, but gotta go for more sometimes.
TnC do hold. It did cost them the buyback on Cuckoo, of course. And they did lose the middle racks. The top racks stay alive. In fact, OG, though, they still want to fight. OG are inside the TnC jungle. TnC have to be careful. Sam H will get the call here onto Jerax. They'll surround them with Raven and Cuckoo. Jerax, Fate Bolt to the back there from Real. As TnC will find That pesky, pesky Chen.
Two
TnC
SNYs
back.
in 2 games. Or 1 SNY in each of our 2 games.
I got buff bent that, what was it, like plus 5% maim chance or something?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that.
I mean, 5%. It's better than 0.
Thanks, Owen.
That's all right, Ben. Some EU maths for you there. Here we go, catching out. In fact, that's a great cool setup. But S4, he tries to come in, but it might actually cost him his life. He'll get the Who Stomp out, starts to back away.
He didn't get his BKB off.
OG, he's having to be a bit careful now. TnC, they are able to kind of jump in, get these pickoffs.
And now they're going to try and threaten Roche. The problem is Cuckoo actually does not have any mana. There is no shrine up, so if they want to take a fight, Cuckoo's only going to be able to drop 1 or 2 spells. Sam H poised outside, ready, but Raven's like, I don't have enough damage for this.
Taking Roche seems a little risky at the moment for TnC.
Yeah, even with the DD, it's just not. Oh, the fake back.
Oh, that's sexy.
And if they can get the kill on No-Tail here before he's level 20, this may be a pretty big window for them. They do have the TD that was popped on Juggernaut.
I don't think OG's not going to expect this.
I don't think they're going to expect this. Oh, actually, yeah, flies in there. He does have the rock available. They are smoked.
Is he going to get there soon enough? I mean, they've already managed to catch out on the sidelines. No-Tail, Hand of God's not going to be enough to save, and No-Tail's out. They will drop the rocket. Is it going to be enough to hold back TnC? Cuckoo's incredibly low still. He does have to get himself out of this one. S4 comes in with a Stampede, the Blink, Who Stomp, and Double Edge to clean out the Invoker. And is looking towards Sam H. Tim's with the stun to hold back the TA. They've lost the Rubik as well, so OG do find 2 kills. Can they get themselves anything more? That's the question. I mean, they're without No-Tail for 40 seconds. They don't need him to take down Roche, that's for sure, with the amount of damage that Anna's packing with that Desolator. So at the end of the day, it does end up costing TnC. You know, they lose the fight.
That was a really nice attempt,
and they lose the Roche.
I do like that fake smoke or fake back into smoke.
It nearly worked.
It nearly worked. If they had a DD though, it would have been like very little chance. But OG are kind of wise to TnC's ways, and they know that there are very few ways that they can get back into the game, and they have to go for some crazy, crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, and if Cuckoo was in a better shape to fight there as well, it could have been a bit of a different story.
Yep. If only they had Chen Sen back and TPOT's back, that would have been great.
Control of that part of the map's going to get even harder now for TnC now that OG have knocked down the shrine.
And they've gone for more fighting items too. Not only is the BKB up on Templar Assistant, it is also up on No-Tail. So it's even more important that they get the Blink call off than before into multiple stun locks.
And Tim's was able to find the setup there. Hunted down the Chen.
Easy Sunstrike.
And in fact, Sam H, he's also found a bit of a setup here as well. He's looked towards No-Tail, Stampede immediately. They're trying to get him out, but Tim's, he's there with a great stun. Catching him out, the Omni-Slash bounces aren't great. Ends up jumping towards the bear. No-Tail BKBs and runs himself away. And in fact, they end up losing Raven, who gets taken down by Anna, who's just turned up at the back lines of this fight. And it's TnC that once again have to start to get themselves back to their base.
That was so unlucky on those Omni-Slash bounces.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
If that bounced on No-Tail, it may have just been enough to kill him.
He even four-stepped the bear instead of the hero. So that was probably the best chance they're going to get at killing Lone Druid for the rest of the game.
And TnC now with 3 down, no buybacks. OG could once again be in a position to take down a second set of racks here as they move towards the bottom lane. S4 very close to having the money he needs to get the completed Aghanims. And at that point, it's going to be even harder for TnC to find an opening to get a successful team fight done. Cuckoo will do his best to hold off this siege here from OG, but S4 immediately there with the initiation. I mean, he certainly has been having quite a game. I mean, just constantly Blink Who Stomp after Blink Who Stomp. He's always there with the setup when TnC don't quite expect it.
Man, he thought that Isol was going to save him, but I'm pretty sure TA sidebladed him on the Forge Spirit. So nice play from OG. That's a pretty difficult kill because he had just used Tornado and EMP and Icewall, and he was like kind of positioning himself so you have to run through the Icewall to kill him. And OG played that perfectly.
20 seconds without him. And again, S4 just come in with a Who Stomp. They don't have enough damage though to bring down Sam H. He'll back himself away, but that does open the...
The Crimson Guard's about to wear off.
Yeah, I mean, can TnC get themselves into this one? It's all about Sam H and these blink calls.
What, Chen has Ags on top of his Greaves?
I mean, it's Jarek's, Ben.
What? They have that big old ancient Prowler.
Oh,
shaman.
dude, that's the scariest ancient. That
It's
really,
pretty
really
scary.
is. Tim's S4 is going to get in with the jump. There'll be a nice tornado and EMP here as they try and hold back, but Fly drops the Golem. They'll put the Stampede as well, trying to get out. It's actually getting stolen here by the Rubik, and that will allow TnC to save Sam H, get him back to the base. S4 tried to jump in to chase him down. TnC have lost the racks here on this bottom lane. Cuckoo controlling Ana for the time being, but he pops the BKB on the TA. Turns towards Tims. Tims is out and down for 45 seconds. No buyback. Sam H as well could be in trouble as Ana blinks forward. Looking to chase him down. Will be held back by Rio with the telekinesis. And in fact, Ana, he's out of mana. Tornado comes through from Cuckoo. Do they have to follow through to bring him down? With his Burge and Raven on the blade through, they'll cut down the TA once. Can they do it a second time, though? That's the question. It doesn't look like they can because OG, they're all back. They're ready to fight back in. Take down 2, take down 3. Sam H comes in with the call. There's no backup for this boy. He will get the kill, but it costs him his life.
One thing that I really like about OG is that they're really good about the item choices. Like Fly, he played the same hero this game and last game, but this game he has a much different build. He went for a Yules and a 4-step after the Midas instead of like the Lotus Orb that he got last game, because how many 4-step saves did we see that fight? That was like, what, 3 or 4? And I'm pretty sure he's the only one with 4-step on his team. So that was all him.
I mean, at this point, TnC...
Just a matter of waiting for your base to get cleaned up.
It's very, very hard for them. I mean, we've seen them that just try the absolute best here with the team fights, you know, Cuckoo hitting the combos.
But against the BKBs and the Greaves mech, like, they can't kill them before they pop their BKBs. And that's kind of all they have at the start of the fight. Like, Juggernaut is just not going to do anything, I think, because of the Crimson Guard. And also the massive amounts of heal.
As we can see, a huge net worth and experience advantage, of course, at the moment for OG. Tim's coming out.
Oh yeah, they have the Ags too on Centaur. Okay, yeah, no one's dying. As long as S4 doesn't get called.
What can they find here, Tims? Look at the stun. Onto the Warlock with the Sunstrike as well. Sam H comes in with the call. Does catch out. Fly, he will survive for the timing. A Tornado comes in. Crimson Guard as well. Yules himself up. The Greaves and the Hand of God coming through. Fly finally goes down. And TnC, they've lost one. Ana's starting to clean up even more here as he pops the BKB. Tims tries to run. Spike Carapace and the stun will hold back the TA. TnC have lost 2. Rio and Tims backing off to the side. Raven still alive as well on the back lines. Tims hiding in the trees. S4 is hunting them down. And with the Yule set up, they'll certainly get the Nyx Assassin. A quick mail strike to the face from Ana.
Yeah, it took them so long to kill the Warlock. That's very sad.
And into the base, we see No-Tail already working his way through that final set of racks here on the top lane. The racks are down, and into the tier 4s they go, OG. TnC, they have got one buyback available, but the other 2 heroes down without it. Tier 4s are falling. GG is called. And game 2 and the series going to OG, Ben, and I think that victory, OG, they can be very happy with that one. That was perfect execution from the draft to the closing moments. They had everything sorted in that match.
It was a much better draft, I would say, for them. In game number 1, I think they had slight hesitation about the Meepo because of the Timbersaw, but this game there was really not that much for them to worry about.
I mean, Jerax as well, you know, that Chen performance to open with, S4 consistent throughout the game, and Ana TA, that mid lane matchup at the beginning, he was absolutely destroying the Invoker.
Got to give a lot of credit